Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you in Gloves Off. I'm Professor Buitrón, and I'm here with Webb County Tax Assessor Patricia Barrera. How we doing? You doing good?
We're doing good, thank God, yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while.
No, I've been very busy working at the office. We started actually got sworn in on the 1st. The next day we went into the office with staff and we started cleaning up the place to get ready for Monday. And Monday we had the longest line that I had ever had. Of course, COVID doesn't help with the distancing and all that, but we took care of everybody. Unfortunately, one of the girls who worked in bookkeeping, who had been there Saturday and then on Monday, right before she left for lunch, she told her supervisor, "I think I have COVID." And the protocol with the county is if you have a fever, sneezing, a cold, anything like that, don't come. Get yourself checked. Well, she had come, and so we said, go home and go get yourself checked. And sure enough, at 5:30, she called and said, "I have COVID, I'm positive." So I had a decision to make. It was my first working day, and it was either we open to the public and expose more staff, because it was her position. As in bookkeeping, everybody had to walk through her or go through her to get the monies, anything like that. So it was a very difficult decision, Paul, but I felt I had no other choice. We had to shut down and everybody had to get tested. And so we were completely closed on Tuesday. Wednesday, some people got the one you got it in 24 hours, the results. There were about 7 of them that came in Wednesday. Our office was closed. They were working from all the backlog that we had inherited. And basically, Friday was the first day that, other than Monday the 4th, that Friday, we opened the office. I couldn't go because I still hadn't gotten my release. Saturday we worked, and Sunday, and I don't believe in working Sundays, but some people went Sunday just to get ahead. Unfortunately, in motor vehicle, the previous administration had told the car dealers, including the big guys, including your franchises, your Chevrolet, your Ford, all those guys, and the little guys, that they were not going to accept any paperwork from them, and they had to wait till the next administration, which was us. So there was tremendous backlog because in motor vehicle, we actually did some transactions from November, and then all of the December ones, and then ours. As of today, we did all of November, all of December, and we're just behind 4 days, which is incredible because it was a lot. It was a lot that we had. And on the 4th, we put up the box, because they had pushed it back in the mailbox, where the people, the dealers, and the public could drop their envelopes, their payments, so they wouldn't come during the day. We put that up, and it was loaded every day from all the transactions, just from the car dealers that we were having to receive and to start working. So we worked every weekend. We've been working every Saturday. Some people, because there were issues, some other issues that we inherited from the previous administration in the balancing of the monies, we had to work even Sundays. We'd come in at 9 and leave at 6 on Sundays, and Saturdays also. So I think this weekend was the first weekend we didn't work on a Sunday. So we kind of more or less caught up with everything. But it was rough. This should have never happened. And to tell you the truth, if a novice, a novato, had come in as a tax assessor collector in January, they would have been lost because of all the backlog and just the stuff that was going on. And I think I'm glad I'm the one who came in, because at least I had a handle. I knew what the operation was, what needed to be done, and how to do it. And so we hit it running, we hit the floor running, except for the COVID situation. And we've had people with COVID, but they don't come to work. They call us, which is the protocol. And they've tested positive, and they quarantine, and they, till they get the release. So it's been, the COVID has not helped the issue, but we've been working, and I have to tell you, the number of staff we're supposed to have is 50. Right now we're at 35. I came in with 5 people, excluding me. And so the office was short of staff in the previous administration. I'm short of staff. I've had about 8 positions that were unfunded by the court beginning in October, and I can't fill them till March. So, but in a way, I don't mind that happened, because we don't have time to train. Okay, to sit down, to put someone to train a new employee on how to do the job. We need speed. We need all hands on board. So right now we're at 35. We've hired 2 people since I've walked in, but mainly they're people like clerks, that kind of stuff that I really, they don't need much training. You're gonna do this, you're gonna fill the stations, that kind of stuff, or help in the line, But it's been interesting.
It sure has, from what you've been telling me. You know that COVID hasn't touched back or given anybody a break.
No.
All businesses, especially small businesses, have been really hurt. I can see administrations and departments like that going through their issues, because you never know. Here we shut down. We didn't close down. I'd say we're not going to have physical classes for 3 weeks. We're going to go Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I saw everything that was going on there, and I said, we're going to do our part. So I told the parents, and I told the adults, the students, and we're going to go through Zoom. On the contrary, it was worse for us, because we lost students. We lost parents said since their child's not going to be here, they're going to take them to another school. Adults said, I'm not paying to be on a computer, I'm paying for you to teach me, so we're not going to go back. So on that sense, it was kind of like, should I have done it or not, And does the community
It was like
really,
a backlash.
You know what I'm saying? It was more like 3 punches in the face for trying to help out the community.
Right.
The community really doesn't care anyway, You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but what I'm saying is that we started seeing families not come the first week of when we're open.
Huh.
Oh, because we have somebody sick, but they wouldn't tell you that it was COVID. They'll just tell you that somebody's, later on, now that we're back, it's because a grandmother got it and we were with her, so
We didn't want to,
they
were quarantined.
But nobody wants to go out there and say that it happens or something. Well, anyway, that is an issue that we're all living with.
Right.
And I'm glad that the county has those protocols. We all have to have them in a way. We have to find out how it is to better off and better serve people. But I want to give you all in the county thumbs up, because you all are leading the way with the COVID.
Thank you.
You all are actually doing a great, tremendous job. The city's kind of catching up, but I think this is in my opinion, if they're listening, I think the city is running on fear.
Well, I think that's what happens.
You know what I mean? I think they're running on fear that they want to try everything and nothing's going, instead of, okay, let's focus on this, and if you have a plan and they have a section, this is what's going to happen, go through the protocol.
Yeah.
But there's over here, it's kind of like, now it's kind of coming up to play, because they're kind of copying corporate
Mm-hmm.
issues that are going on in corporate companies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Well, corporate started sending people home and working out of their home through Zoom, through the computer, the internet. And I think some jobs you can do that,
yes.
but like us, the tax office, there's no way. Especially if you buy a car and you're trying to put it in your name. That cannot be done through the internet. Now, you can order your renewal.
Mm-hmm.
That you can do through the internet, no problem. You know, you even get a $1 discount. Instead of paying $84, you pay $83. So, you know, but you have to wait for the stick. Still, somebody back at the ranch still has to process that renewal and still has to ship you and send you by mail the sticker, you know?
Sure.
So, but a lot of things can't be done. Now, people did pay, the county did remove the 3% on the credit card charge
Okay.
for those who paid taxes through the internet, okay? Of that, maybe about 5,000 accounts were paid through the internet. But of that 5,000, 3,000 were done at our office. Because you have to understand, the people who are fluent through the internet and know what to do are the young people.
They'll navigate.
They know how to navigate, they know what to do, they know what to click and where to look for, and what to look for to click, okay? But you have your seniors.
They don't know.
And a lot of seniors weren't walking out of the house because of the COVID. So unfortunately, the phones are their only recourse. And from October to December, there was nobody. I mean, and when I say nobody, I literally mean no one was sitting at the switchboard. Okay, what we call the switchboard, where the phones are, to answer the calls. Okay. We came in January and we had 2 people doing that. But the amount of calls, the volume was overwhelming. And unfortunately, people want to talk, don't hang up, don't put me on hold, you know. And it was like, what do I do, you know? But we answered, and of the 5,000 that were done through the internet, 3,000 were done in our office. And there were mainly seniors calling that they wanted to pay their taxes. And they were done through the phone. And so we had to go through the internet. Because if we went through our system at the office, we'd have to charge the 3%. So we did it through the internet, so.
You know, and it's a lot of offices, departments like yours, they need to be hands-on.
Yeah.
There's no way you can change it. There's no way you can change it, and people say, "Oh, we have to do it." There's no way. You know, I think we're all going to come through this pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go through it, and
We're gonna beat it.
We're going to beat it. We're going to go in there, but they can't beat us anymore to the ground because ya estamos en el suelo. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so.
Yes.
So, I mean, we just have to start pushing ourselves up and helping one another and move forward and understanding, not being too, you know what, I'm not going to go with what you're mandating. You know, in a way,
Yeah.
I understand everything and I understand the whole thing, you know, but we need to start paying attention to what we do.
Well, you know, the COVID, the corporations and even the city and the county where they sent their employees home, the teachers, it had a horrible ripple effect on small businesses. I go to my cleaners and she told me I'm behind in my taxes, but business has been slow, you know?
Mhm.
It's been slow, and why? Because people who would normally be on their job would be taking clothes to be cleaned, and they would have their regular income. So that's just one business that I know of. But so many have been affected by this. And you know, I think we have to go back to what President Roosevelt said. You know, we cannot allow fear to defeat us. You know, we cannot allow fear because fear will cripple us and defeat us. And that's what this pandemic, and unfortunately, the experts were the ones who instill in fear on the public, you know.
And they still are.
Oh, yeah.
And there still are. I mean,
You know, I have an issue with the mask because you cover your nose and you cover your mouth. Remember when we were in elementary, they told us you inhale and you exhale what? Carbon monoxide. And what is carbon monoxide?
staying on us.
It's poison.
It's, you know, a lot of people do not understand. There's a lot of science. They're not reading the science. They're just going by fear in a bulk stampede.
Yeah.
Okay, and
In
those frenzies can get us hurt.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody starts stampeding. All of a sudden, they run over somebody, and all of a sudden, guess what? You know, you got somebody that was trampled to death.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that trampling of the death is a small businesses right now that's going through that. And people, you know, we, like I said, and I don't care, and I'll do it again, but we did our part.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't there to get a pat on the back from the community or anything, because I knew already the community really could care less if your business runs or none run or nothing anyway. And but what I'm saying is that a lot of companies, a lot of small businesses did that. They started making it a little bit friendlier. They started making this and that, and they're still getting the hate messages and so on and so forth. And it has to stop.
Yeah.
But we're allowing it by our leaders, not you all from the county. I'm talking about those sitting in the city, and they're allowing that fear mongering to take place, and it's sad. It's sad because you have departments that are very, very good and doing exceptional, when the county is doing it. But the city's over here trampling over one another. Wait a minute, let's step back. What's going on? You know, it's I don't know. Anyway, two different things.
Well, you know, when I was there, back on, remember there was the swine flu, and then there was
Sure.
another. We remodeled our office, and we put up before the swine flu. We put up barriers. The
When Mars came in, on Mars, whenever the one came
Star,
before
this one was stars,
and
and then
the swine.
the swine flu. But swine flu was very strong across the river, so there was a fear. But when we remodeled, it was prior to that. But I did put up where there would be a barrier between, because we realized that before, a lot of our people would get the flu. They were getting sick, and a lot of people would come, and some would just sneeze, and they wouldn't even cover their mouth or turn their face and cover themselves, you know.
Yeah.
So when we remodeled, that was one of the things that I did do. Now, I didn't do it all the way to the ceiling, but we had a barrier. So when the swine flu hit, I mean, we had everything for them. We had the masks, we had the gloves, we had the wipies, we had the Lysol, and we had the sanitizing hand sanitizers, and we even had them for the public on the outside.
Sure.
Okay, and no one got sick in our office. No one. So I think if you do take the precautions now, then it's up to the employees that you also take your precaution. When did this start hitting big? It was when Thanksgiving hit, when families all gathered together and people from out of town were coming in. Okay, and a lot of times they're the carriers, the ones coming in. But then Christmas and then New Year's, and I think that's where this started again, the people coming down, the bigger numbers of COVID. And then you have the tests. The tests are also identifying people who had it and all that. So how much is it really in the hospital? We don't know. I mean, they give us numbers. And personally, I don't look at that. I don't want to hear about that. Okay, I know I'm not going to get it. I have not gotten it, and I will not get it, because I believe that I'm covered by the blood of Jesus, you know, and I have His protection. And if it were to happen, I'd still survive. The survival rate is what, 95 point something percent?
98 point something percent.
Yeah. And it's under, I think under the 65. And then the other one's like 95%. So even if you look at that, that's a darn good percentage. That's almost perfection. You know?
I mean, it's, but you can't say that to individuals, because they'll come after you and
yeah,
and
you're not taken seriously and all that. Yes, I am. But I'm not letting it defeat me. I'm not letting it paralyze me. Now, am I out in the streets? No, I'm not. I pick the time when I have to go to the grocery store because I can't buy online the milk and go pick it up. You have to go in person. I can't get the salad. There's certain items, bread. I can't even get it online. I have to go select my bread, okay? So there's things that I know, so I order stuff online, I put it at a certain hour when I know there's not that many people in the store, and that's when I get off and get the few items I have to do walking in the store, and then I pick up the rest of my groceries.
You know, and we all have to be that way. Our kids are healthy. We need to get them out because they're locked up and they're cooped up inside there. It's a lot of depression going on right now, and there's going to be a lot of people snapping right now. There's going to be a lot of people saying enough of this, and they're not like nonchalant. They're like saying, "Oh, you see how good we're doing with this?" No, just start taking care of these folks who are out there.
And the unfortunate thing
so
on the children, or even the young adults, the teenagers, they don't know how to express it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what's going on in their bodies and in their minds.
We're going to have some serious issues because of the fear-mongering, but again, onward through the fog. What do you have planned for this year?
Well, we need to get ourselves back where we're day-to-day operations. When Ms. Faribault was there, she introduced a new method of doing the taxes, where you could, it was a system called Jaguar, and you could pay it. You scan what you send in the mail for the payment. It has a barcode. You'd scan that, and then you put in the check, and it actually pays the bank. The check goes through their bank, and the money comes into the county's account, which is excellent, okay? But you have to know what you're doing. And unfortunately, we did have some errors done. They were still trying to decipher that. That's in the balancing. We had over $341,000. We couldn't match it. So we've been working, but it's a good method, and I think it'll speed the process. But we just have to have people that are trained and just focus on what they're doing and no distractions, you know. And that's basically what the problem is, the distractions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna hire people. We started the maquinitas. They had stopped. Ms. Faribault stopped the collection of the maquinitas. Ms. Cuellar also. Then they started them in October, but very little was done because of the pandemic and all that. So we've done like 22 accounts. So we started collecting. Now, the county had started a process different than what the state has in the charges. They actually there's a new law where the counties, like the cities, they can impose their own fees. By law, under the occupation tax code, we can only charge 1/4 of whatever the state charges. Okay, so our permits, the permits that all the maquinitas have to have, the
Sure.
sticker, we could only charge $15 for 12 months, and then every quarter it goes down. Whereas the city charges like $1,000 per machine. At one time it was $550. I think they went up to $1,000. So the county.
And that's annually?
Yeah, per machine, okay? And where ours was just $15. The state charges $60 because they're four times.
So if a person has 30 machines, well, that's 30,000?
At 1,000, yes.
And where
Plus
does
their
that,
license.
where does that money?
That goes into the city coffers. I don't know where about, but yeah. In ours, it goes into the general fund, you know. So
But it's
goes back.
$15.
Yeah, but it's $15. But the city, the county, this summer started. They passed it. It's like an ordinance where they were creating their own. I forget what you call it.
Sure.
But their own unit, and the sheriff is part of it. They're the ones who enforce it, but there were some problems with the state and how they were going about it. So we started collecting in January for the machines and for the license. It's the permits are the $15, and then the licenses, depending how many machines you have, is how much you pay for the license. It starts at $200, then it goes to $400, and then $500. So if you have from 50 to less, from 1 to 50, it's a $200 license. That's for the establishment to be able to have the machines. Then you have to pay the permits for the machines. If it's from 51 to 200, it's $400, and then it's $500 if you have more than 200 machines.
Absolutely.
So we started doing that, and the owners are coming and paying for it. I think they'd rather pay right now before the other one goes into effect, which is a lot more expensive.
Sure.
So.
And, business is business if you want to run business, so you have to pay, you have to understand how the business runs for you to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes.
But I do want to tell the public that we sanitize the place every 2 hours on the outside where the public is at, on the counters, the bench, where we are sanitizing every 2 hours where we stop the public from coming in. We sanitize, we have to wait. It's 20 minutes, then we have to wait. We have to open the doors so the breeze can take away whatever's there, the fumes and all that. And then we return back, and usually we try to do it during the lunch hours. So our staff is leaving and there's nobody there, and then, we start again. So we are, not only are we taking care of the staff on the inside, but we're also cognizant of the fact that the taxpayers are being exposed.
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. And again, continue doing the job that you're doing, the county, and the county as well. This goes for the county. And folks, now some good words and some good advice from our county tax assessor. And we have a good weekend this weekend coming of age. And I'm going to leave you all with this. Let's thank the one above that we're so healthy. Let's give a hug to our parents and to our children and tell them we love them. Don't be afraid of that. Yes. We're dealing with some serious issues right now that are out there, and it's a pandemic that can take people that we know.
Yes.
Believe me, in the last 3 weeks, I've lost close friends of mine with this pandemic, and a family member as well. So, and some of them didn't have any underlying health conditions or were straightforward, very healthy. So understand who we're in. This weekend, if a police officer comes and tells you you're doing this, yes sir, no sir, don't give them any more trouble. They're going to have a lot of pressure with them this weekend as well. So do not start arguing with them about laws, and just, okay, thank you sir, thank you ma'am, have a nice day. Yeah. And once more, you all be safe. Let's stop living in fear, but let's start living cautiously, because we all have to be cautiously now more than ever. And that goes everywhere in our life.
That's right.
All right, until next time, you all be safe, and thank you so much.
Thank you, God bless you all.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitrón Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our adult classes are geared for producing the best in you, teaching you street-ready techniques. With the arts of Savate and Kinpo, you'll learn the traditions of these sciences of combat, as passed down professor to student.
Hello, my name is Stephen Plank, and to whom this may concern. Professor Paul Buitrón is an outstanding human being and a close friend of mine, where his martial art prowess and skill is at equal to his humanity. His teaching capabilities are what one would expect of someone from his caliber. I've been in martial arts since I was 9. I'm 65 years old now. However, if I had a son or daughter who needed to learn self-defense, anti-bullying techniques, and/or gain a higher level of skill in fighting, and in which I could not instruct, then Professor Paul Buitrón would be my choice. His martial understanding of his Savate is higher than anyone else I have met. His pedigree is impeccable. He comes highly recommended by myself, Guru Stephen Plank. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Richard Planis. I was the vice president of the IKKA for Ed Parker for many years, 10 years before he died. And I still travel the world teaching all over. And I met lots of people through the years. One of them I want to congratulate is Paul Buitrón down in Laredo, Texas. He's opening a new school, and that's always good to hear. I've known Paul since he was about 18 years old. I couldn't even tell you how old he is now. We've known each other for a long time, and he's like a lot of people should be, takes art seriously. He incorporated many arts, in his school. He does, capoeira, silat, jiu-jitsu, eskrima, kenpo, lots of different things. Any art like myself that you see a value in, you can bring it in and incorporate it if you want to. Anyway, so he's opening a new school, and I'd like to recommend it to anybody who wants to train down in the Laredo area. Meet him, go see him, you'll have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868 or check out our website at savat.biz. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook.